So, brothers, I hope that we all have noticed, that these couple weeks we have been reading during the Mass the Gospel of Mark. But I realized that 2 weeks ago, something happened. Our mother church said, I think this is one of the most famous miracles Jesus did. So let's take it out and put, Luke. Let's put Luke. But brothers, beyond the miracle itself, there is something deeper happening here. There is a story of obedience and transformation on the apostles. So let's step into this scene and walk with these apostles as they learn what it really means to follow Jesus Christ. So let's focus in this relationship of Jesus and his disciples. First, Jesus is teaching, and the apostles see a problem. Jesus, it's late. It's 5 o'clock. People need to eat. They are hungry. And what was Jesus' answer? You give them food. The apostles react with doubt. What? Are you crazy? Do you want us to feed with 200 wages days of wages to feed these people? No, Jesus, that's impossible. And Jesus asks, trust. Trust. Bring what you have. So now the apostles obey, and they began to move. They were looking for something, whatever they had. And as I said in the beginning, Jesus was teaching to the crowd. But the apostles little knew that they were actually the ones being evangelized. Because they were not only listening to the teachings of the great master as the crowd was doing, but they were experiencing them firsthand. Their hearts were being put to the test. And that is something all of us, brothers, we should do. Embrace the tests and the words of love and truth that the Lord gives us. And just as the apostles, act. And so, Jesus multiplies the food. And finally, the apostles distribute the food. And let me tell you something, brothers. The apostles were not expecting this to happen. And I want you to see this progress, the transformation of the hearts of the apostles. From first being behind the wall of doubt and denial to being in awe and amazed by God's gifts, and now giving them to the people. I want to tell you a quick story of mine. Once upon a time, when I was a young novice, I was in my encounter with Christ, and we were reflecting on this very same passage. And as usual, we were all saying, I think, the first ideas that come to our minds when we first read this passage about giving everything we have to the Lord. Don't matter how few they are. Doesn't matter if they look dumb, how broken they are. Just give everything to the Lord. He will multiply it. And that's how apostolate works. But suddenly, this enlightened brother comes forward and says, and focuses his reflection on the following verse. And they all ate, and all were satisfied. And boom, in that moment, I just made the click. I stopped listening to my brothers, and without helping myself, I saw myself lying on the green grass among people I barely know, and seeing Jesus there far away. And it was quite strange, because usually when I contemplate this passage, I live that Regnum Christi spirituality, right? Just being the one that notices the need of the people and going with Jesus and trying to fix it, and being like that apostles, just going out, giving the food, giving out the word. But this time, it was different. I was there. far away from Jesus, lying on the green grass. And just a quick parenthesis. Many of my brothers, especially the ones from Monterey, know that I don't like fish. And seafood is not my biggest delight. So Fridays for me are just wonderful. So when I was looking at this passage, coming back to the story, I was there sitting. And I see James back there with a big basket handing out these loaves of bread. And I thought to myself, like, man, I'm hungry. I want one of those. But then I see Simon with another basket giving fish. And I think to myself, oh my goodness, please God, give me bread. I want bread. And suddenly, I see Andrew just here in front of me. He looks down. He smiles. He gets something. I just close my eyes, put my hands like this. And now I have a big fish between my hands. But they all were satisfied. I was satisfied. We may not receive what we expected, but we will receive what we truly need. Brothers, trust in God's ways, because He is our Father. He is my Father, who wants to give me the whole world. So trust Him that He will always, truly, deeply will satisfy me with His love and with His face.